Well, this Disney Plus MJ show, pretty depressing. Euphoria is an HBO show created by Sam Levinson. You may recognize that name from Assassination Nation from 2018. Well, realistically, chances are you don't recognize the name because literally nobody saw that movie. The only reason I saw it is because it was a movie pass option one day and I was pleasantly surprised. By no means is it great cinema or anything, but it had a raw punk attitude that I don't see in a lot of stuff, and it had a really infectious style with booming music and a lot of usage of colors.
Lots of colors.
Now, admittedly, Euphoria has never been on my radar because, one, I don't own HBO, and two, not the biggest fan of Zendaya. Hold on. I know that's a bit controversial. She was fine in The Greatest Showman, but honestly, I could not stand her character in Spider-Man Homecoming. The character was really annoying, and she had this really pessimistic attitude that just made her annoying to me. I don't know. She did grow on me a little bit with Far From Home because her relationship with Peter was so darn cute. But still, not the biggest Zendaya fan. Maybe Zapped would be the one to win me over, but I don't know. Regardless, let's get back to Euphoria, shall we? As some of my friends may know, I have the biggest soft spot for really shitty high school dramas. They really fill the void in my soul. I've seen every season of Atypical, I've watched like every Netflix high school movie in existence, and I've even suffered through 2.1 seasons of 13 Reasons Why. That's about enough of that. Not to mention, The Kissing Booth 2 is like my most anticipated film of the year. Not that anything else is coming out at this point, but still looking forward to it for my own little guilty pleasure reasons. Mr. Marcello, if you want to send me a screener of The Kissing Booth 2, that'd be great. So given my admiration of high school media, I guess you could say, I decided to bite the bullet. I got a 7-day free trial of HBO just to watch this show. And after watching it, it's good. This is honestly the best high school drama I've ever seen, which seems like a bold statement, but it's true. Better than Degrassi, better than Saved by the Bell, better than Atypical, 13 million times better than 13 Reasons Why. Essentially, you name it, this is better than that. So to start things off, I need to issue the biggest apology to Queen Z. Zendaya is truly the guiding force in this show, and it would not work without her. She brings so much humanity and emotional weight to this character of Rue, and it's really interesting to see this character going through addiction and seeing the whole high school experience through her eyes, essentially. Through this character and the different friends and experiences she has, we see her go through the highest highs and the lowest lows. Oh boy.
Oh boy, yeah.
In some cases, this is like painful relapses, which is just devastating to watch. Having a strong lead protagonist in the show was so important for it to work at all, so Zendaya really stood up to the plate here. So at this point, I'm basically a simp for Queen Z. Rue's arc and progression through the show is deeply rooted in her relationship with Jules, who is this new student who shows up to the school. Jules is played by Hunter Schafer, and according to IMDb, this is her first time acting, which makes this so much more impressive. Schafer's portrayal of Jules is such a delight, and what's even better is that this is a representation for a trans woman in a big budget HBO show, which is awesome to see. Seeing representation on this scale is so great to see, and especially when it's like a new talent like Schafer, and I really hope this gets her more work and people from the LGBT community in general. No, we don't need Scarlett Johansson as a trans man. We want an actual trans man. Get your shit together, Hollywood. And a little side tangent, but if the MCU wants to cast a Gwen Stacy, Hunter Schafer's fucking perfect for the role. I don't care what you say. You know, she already has the chemistry with Zendaya. There's no reason not to cast her. You know, Disney will probably never do this because China wouldn't allow them to screen their movie if they had a trans character in it. But get some fucking balls, Disney. Come on. Okay, let's get back to Euphoria. Outside of Rue and Jules, there are a lot of other side characters who make a really big impact to the show as a whole. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, so I'm just gonna read them here. We have Jacob Elordi as Nate, who you may recognize from The Kissing Booth We also have Alexa Demi, who plays Maddie, who you may recognize from Waves from last year, which was a really great movie. Some other actors to shout out are Angus Cloud, Eric Dane, Algie Smith, Barbie Ferreira, who steals every damn scene she's in, by the way, and a ton of other really great actors and actresses. Without this really great cast of characters, this show would not be good, but it's so good.
So good.
The characters are great, but one of the things I loved the most about this show was that it takes all the tropes that you normally see in really bad high school dramas, but it takes them, expands upon them, and modernizes them in a way that's really fascinating. Many different high school shows and movies in the past have had the themes of like queerness, addiction, abusive relationships, teen pregnancy, but I've never seen all of these themes done at the same time and put into one show and have it work so well. Giving each character a different theme or problematic thing from high school to deal with makes the show really fresh, and it really brings life to this messed up high school environment that they live in. And there's even a character who is very similar to Bryce from 13 Reasons Why, but in that he was such a stale, one-dimensional caricature of a trashy high schooler, but in this, they give him this arc with his father that is so messed up, but it also is just fascinating to watch, even though it's a little disturbing, folks.
It's pretty twisted.
Once again, like I said, taking all these elements from previous shows and just expanding upon them, modernizing them, making them so interesting to watch. And to put a nice little cherry on top there, we have the soundtrack and the cinematography. The show makes great use of colors and camera movements, and in some parts have like quick, quirky editing choices, which make the whole thing feel so immersive. A lot of that infectious style from Assassination Nation does carry over here, so we have scenes lit up entirely with colors, we have mesmerizing slow motion shots, and then of course we have some trendy music to accompany it. Now that's something I could see being a complaint to some people, like, oh, they're just using Drake songs to be trendy, but I feel like this is important to articulating this high school atmosphere, because these are the trendy songs of like the 2010s, so why not? I feel like the music choices in this perfectly complement the really trashy nature of the show itself and of the high school they're trying to articulate, I guess you could say. Granted, my high school was not nearly as problematic as this one, but then again, I was not really the type to go to parties or anything like that. I know, that's quite shocking. To me, all the music choices make this a period piece of the 2010s, and it's going to be really nostalgic for me to look back upon in like 10, 20 years from now. I really don't have that many problems with this show. I mean, sure, there's some characters you might prefer over others, or some arcs that are more interesting than others, but that's just bound to happen in a show like this. My ultimate thesis is that this is peak high school drama. This is everything I go to a trashy high school show for. I cried. Damn right I cried. Quite a bit. This show is definitely not for everyone. It's very disturbing and it's trashy. Some people don't like that stuff, but I really do. It's a shame that season 2 has not started filming yet for obvious reasons, but hopefully they take this time to like refine the script and make it even better than the last season, which quite a high bar for me personally, but I feel like Sam is up to the task there. So that pretty much wraps up my thoughts on Euphoria. It was pretty awesome. So yeah, that's about all I had to say. So I'm gonna go simp for Zendaya, so I'll see you guys later.